Alright, let's start this. Hello YouTube, episode 1 of Basic Japanese for people as lazy as me. We're gonna go through the a, ka, and sa rows of hiragana. Okay everyone, let's get this started. You've got a whole lot of hiragana and katakana and kanji to go ahead of you, so let's start with some easy ones, the first couple rows right now. So like I said in the episode title, we're going to start with, I'm going to do this in Romaji, like English letters first, and then write the things next to them. And then I'll show you how to do each one individually. So you've got the A row, Ka row, and the Sa row. I guess these are columns more than anything else. The A row, in each of these you'll have the thing ending in A, E, U, A, and O. So you've got this sort of, like, table, I guess. Normal, just vowel sounds, the ones that are just the sound without any consonants, are as follows. A. I guess this is a little long here. E. U, A, and O. Right? Over in Ka, you've got Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, and Ko. And over in Sa, you've got Sa, Shi, Su, Se, and So. Okay? So let's go through each of these individually. Okay, stroke by stroke, we'll go for it, right? We're going to start with the vowels only. Ahs, right? And then we'll go E, U, A, and O. That's the, order in which it always goes. So stroke by stroke, goes like this. First stroke, just a horizontal line. Second stroke, a line that sort of curves a little bit out to the side like that, right? Third stroke, you're going to make a sort of spiral. So you start about here, and it goes like that. This is the sort of shape that you're going to get out of it. Some people will have it look differently. Of course, handwriting works differently for each person. So it's not that hard, right? 1, 2, 3, final product. E is super easy. It's got 2 strokes. 1, 2. It's not that important that they are different sizes, but in technicality, the first stroke is bigger than the second stroke. You can also, if you're writing it very quickly, just write it sort of like some parentheses. That will also do, but it's better to have these little hooks on it. Because, much in the same way that all of these have got a flow to them, it used to be that this character was written with a brush and therefore would have looked something like that, to come out of it here and into the next one, and then from here it would go to the whatever other stuff that they're doing. So easy stuff. First stroke, second stroke. U is also super easy. It's another 2-stroke. First stroke is like a little dot line sort of thing. Second stroke is a curve under it. So, final looks like this. Super, super easy, right? A has two or three, depending on who you ask, strokes. First stroke is very similar to oo. Second stroke is here, I guess. And then third stroke, you don't actually pick up the pencil for this one. From here, you just sort of squiggle it a bit. Final product looks like this. It's kind of like a squiggly 2 with a dot on top of it. Pretty easy stuff. O looks similar to A, and when I first learned this, I screwed it up all the time, so be careful about it, right? O starts with that horizontal line, the same horizontal line that we have in A. The second stroke looks very similar down to this little squiggly bit. It starts here and makes a squiggle. Right? So, sorry, let's do that in proper order like I've been doing. First stroke, second stroke, and then third stroke is a little dot here. Right? So the end product looks like this. O. Right? Easy stuff. So you've got A, E, oo, A, O. Good stuff. Let's move on. Alright, so the next bit we're going to do is the second line in, which is going to be the K plus vowel. Right, so you're going to have in this one ka, ki, ku, ke, and ko. Easy stuff, right? Ka. Let's do this. First stroke is a sort of diagonal kind of, well, I guess this depends who you ask. I write it this way, some people write it otherwise. Let's do it the way that a lot of people do. First stroke is like a sort of wave-looking thing, like this. Second stroke is a line that cuts through it. Third stroke is an extra little, like, whisker over on the side. And it ends up looking like this, basically. Again, this is handwriting differences. It's going to look like this basic shape. Wave thingy, line cutting through, extra whisker. Ki is going to be a little bit difficult because one that looks very much like ki shows up several times. Ki starts, K plus I, right? Ki. With one almost horizontal line. Next stroke is another one directly below it. The third one is one that cuts through it like a not equal sign and then makes a hook on the bottom. So it looks like two horizontal lines and a fishing hook. That's ki. Easy stuff. Ki. Ka, ki. Next is ku. Ku is the easiest one out of all of them, basically. Ku has one stroke. It's a less than sign. You can't get any easier than a less than sign. So we've got ka, ki, and ku. Next we're going to work with K. K, E. So K works like this. First stroke looks very similar to the first stroke of E that we had in the last little bit of this, the just vowel version. Second stroke looks like that. And then the third stroke is this next, like, thing here. It's essentially, you're taking that E from before and putting a line through it. You just make sure that it looks nice enough when it's sitting next to each other. So, here, line, here. And that's K. It's going to look like this. Essentially, if you write it really quick. My handwriting is pretty bad, though. And ko. So you remember how E was written with, like, this sort of thing? And then there's that little hook down at the bottom here like that, and then another one over here like that. Ko takes that whole thing, turns it sideways. First stroke. Right? Horizontal line, little hook. Second stroke, there. So yeah, let's do this the way that I've always been doing it. Second stroke. There. Oh look. Passing period time. Co. So it's gonna look sort of like that when you do it. It's like a curved equals sign. So now we've got ka, ki, ku, ke, and ko. Alright, you're going pretty good now. You've got two of the several columns of hiragana. Let's go for one more in this episode. Alright, so we've got just vowel, K plus vowel. Now let's go S plus vowel. So we've got S plus vowel. The first thing that we've got is sa. Sa looks like ki. Be careful about this because I screwed it up all the time. Sa has a first stroke, is a line here. Easy stuff. Second stroke, you take the second stroke from ki and take it out and move straight to the third stroke. Sa, right? Just like that. It's like ki, hey guys, but without the second stroke. What can I do for you guys? I've got some students in, I probably can't show them on camera. Sorry. So let's move on. The next bit is S plus I. But in Japanese you don't get C. That's not a sound that they have. Romanizing this into English will get you not C, but she. So be careful about this, because it doesn't make C, it makes she. They don't have C in Japanese. So be careful with this, right? This is going to be she. She is a one-stroke character. First stroke. It's a backwards capital J. Right? So it just sort of, comes out that way. So, of course, still looks like that. Next is su. Su is just normal. It's S plus U. First stroke is a horizontal line. Easy. Horizontal lines happen a whole lot in this. Second stroke is a line that goes through, makes a single loop, and then loops over a little bit. That's a little too angled there. Sort of just comes down like that. Su. It's like a twisted T. First line, second one like that. So, yeah, sorry. First stroke, second stroke, and then it ends up like that. Easy, right? お前らも参加する? OK、じゃあ、後でこれとかを書いてもらって、それをビデオを撮る。いい? OK. Next up is se. Se is like ke from before, it's got the little bits to it and stuff. Hello, everyone. Se's first stroke is like a big L. The second stroke is a smaller L on the inside that's backwards. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
The third stroke is a line that goes through. It's pretty easy, right? So it ends up looking like that when you do it really messy. It should look something like this. Easy. Finally, let's look at so. So's first stroke. Here. Hello.
Hello.
All of my students are showing up right now, and I'm not allowed to show them on camera without, parental consent and everything, so everyone say hello.
Hello.
Right? That's how it goes, right? So first stroke is a sort of 7. Second stroke just takes that and goes again. See you later. So looks like a 3 that's been broken on the bottom, I guess. It's like a squiggly line, yeah? じゃあ後で書いてもらって、給食の時じゃどうですか？給食終わってから。Okay, ありがとうございます。See you. Right, so we've got sa, she, su, se, so. Seriously be careful with this, because everyone's going to think it's going to be si, but that's not how it is, because that's not in Japanese. That doesn't exist. At all, ever, anywhere. Which is another issue for why we, teaching them English, can't make them say words like sit. They always say shit. It's pretty ridiculous. Okay, so let's practice this all together then. We've got this chart going on here, right? So I'm going to point at the thing where you should write it. You write it down. I'll give you time to do so. And then after that, I'll write it down. Okay? So make this chart on your paper, I guess. So the first one is ah. Next one is e. Next one is oo. Next one is a. And finally, o. How'd you do? First five. Next one, we've got the K row. Ka. How about ki? How about ku? How about K? And finally, ko. How'd you do for the second five? So far you should have 10 points out of a possible 10. Keep it up. Next up, let's go with the S row. S-A. Sa. She. Not C, remember. How about Sue? Next up is say. みんな集まってどうする？
見たいです。
何を？ビデオに映っちゃダメです。
面白い。
Finally, so.
投資みたい。今でしょ。今でしょ。
Easy, right? Alright, so that's everything for this episode. I will see you next time when we tackle the next 3 rows of hiragana. See you guys later. This is an example of 3 of my students having written those things which you just learned. Some of them are slightly different, but that's just stylistic and handwriting wise. So we have Shun, who has written A, I, U, E, O. Say hello, Shun.
A, I, U, E, O.
Next up, we have Azumi, who has written Ka, Ki, Ku, Ke, Ko. Azumi-san.
Ka, ki, ku, ke, ko.
And finally, Masaki-san, who has written Sashi, Su, Se, So.
Sashi, su, se, so.
Thank you.